We?
Says we're here.
Are we?
I have never been all here in my whole life. Our view is a little weird. We have 3 views.
Yeah.
And one of them is a little weird. Thank you, Kim, for validating our existence.
Okay,
I don't have
good.
to go through that whole spiel. Hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our weekly live stream where we record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. We are here 4 minutes early. If you are here for the live stream and you don't like idle chit chat, you got a couple minutes. If you are here after the live stream, but before I put in timestamps, and you don't like idle chit chat, fast forward by at least 4 minutes. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Kim. Hi, Claire. And thank y'all. I don't want to quantify this too much, but I have prepped for this anniversary more than I've prepped for our wedding anniversaries. Like, our wedding anniversaries are special to me, even if I can never remember what year we were actually married. I'm not alone in that, so it's not just me being awful. Right. But, and so I don't want to say, oh, the podcast anniversary is somehow more special than the wedding anniversary. But it's like they're even in very different weird ways. Because we were doing this before we got married.
I was going to say, we've been doing this longer than we've been married.
Yep.
Dang.
So, we're here for the butt rub. I don't really have anything for the butt rub. I've been a bit of a marshmallow, mentally and physically.
I have been in a strange headspace today myself. I'm blaming it on the rain.
The rain that won't fall on our house,
right?
Just all around us.
The rain that falls all around us, but not on our street. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that. No. Well, I got it out of our system before we sat down to do all this. Lola had the zoomies.
Yep.
And I was playing with her.
She is currently taking a nap, and it's a real nap. Her ears are down.
Yep. I wore her out.
It's a fake nap if one of her ears are up.
Are up, yeah.
But yeah, she's snoozing. She's using her blankie as a pillow.
Good.
Yeah.
She was struggling with the blanket earlier. I had to...
It's because she doesn't have opposable thumbs.
Well, you know what? I'm sitting there, and I watch her, messing with the blanket, and I'm like, take it in your mouth. Take it in your mouth, and you can pull it up, and you can put it where you want. Just grab it.
It never occurs to her to use her mouth for anything.
I know, except for eating.
Well, same girl, same. Hi, Julie. Hi, Mandy, and thank you. Yeah. No, she's not. She does not pick up toys. She's not, she's not carrying a blanket around in her mouth. If it's not food, it's not meant for her mouth.
No.
So, hi, Silent. Hi, Panda. The equivalent of a beer. I initially read that as I am the equivalent of a beer, and I had questions, but thankfully, my eyes went back over it. Birthday cookies. Birthday cookies. I have planned the doing of this episode. I have not planned out what we're going to try to do for Friday night's live stream. Grateful I remember that, because did I put it in my script notes? No, I did not. I had other things going on in the script notes. Because our Friday and Saturday are about to be as chaotic as possible.
I was just going to say, we get to move the oldest back.
I know. And, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I'm going to miss him. It's nice to have, him here, to know he's being fed, blah, 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 to be a part of his life. But also, I'm ready to have our house back. I'm ready to have our car back.
I've been feeling the same way. It's been really nice having him here. It's wonderful. He's now of that age. You can have a conversation, a really deep
Oh yeah,
conversation
and he
with
is
him.
a deep thinker.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, I don't even feel bad. Like, okay, of course I have a little bit of mom guilt over that,
Mm-hmm.
but he and I had that conversation a few days ago. He's like, I like being home, but also
But
I said,
I'm sure he's
but I said, what I said to him was, but also you like being able to control the thermostat, and he said, yeah, and have something that's not a twin size bed. I don't know if I'm sure we've talked about it, but it still blows my mind. This child is moving to a different apartment complex,
Yep.
less money per month than he was paying before,
Mhm.
bigger bed, queen size beds
Yeah.
are the default in this place.
Wow.
It's like, what the hell? I had to like get into my 20s before I got a queen size
Right.
bed. Okay, it's 7:01. We should get started.
Okay.
As you can tell from the title, I think I titled it correctly. We're talking about us, and we're doing
Yeah.
a 10th podcast anniversary thing, and I'm trying not to hype it up too much because that'll just be anticlimactic when it's underwhelming. But I am very excited. You are very excited. If you are a person who sometimes or in the past or normally listens to the audio version, I'm just saying, just this week, starting Friday, just go listen to our intro. That's I'm very proud of that. We had an idea and we committed to it. I'm just saying, but that would come out.
I'll have to see how that.
Yeah, that'll be
turned out.
interesting. That'll be interesting. So, yeah, we've got multiple things kind of planned for this episode, live stream, video. Words. What are words? Why would I want words on episode 450 of our 10th podcast anniversary? Why would I need words after all this time? So, if I haven't scared anybody away, if you enjoy this while it's happening, we love a thumbs up. If you like it enough to want to come back for more, please consider subscribing.
And go ahead and ring that notification bell to get updates and new content.
Just do what Daddy says. I'm getting better at that. No, I've always been good at doing what you say. I just have questions first. Yeah, yada yada. Let's get into it. The words, the Swiss cheese brain took over.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let me get my little notes up. 2 announcements. They are actually like about the topic in the episode. Let me do the one I didn't write down while I can remember it. This Friday, August 15th. It's a date I remember because it's the actual 10th anniversary of the podcast. We have our monthly Friday night live stream virtual munch thing that we do. It'll be at its normal time. It will have to end at its normal time because we'll be in the middle of moving the oldest into a new apartment that weekend, Friday and Saturday. So, but it'll be chaotic and celebratory, hopefully. So that's coming 9:30 p.m. Eastern till about 11 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Yay! Okay. You know what you didn't do? Or you did and I ignored you. Did you say hello to everybody?
No.
It's the 10th anniversary. You can't be skipping steps.
Hello, everyone.
There we go. Oh, podcast listeners, y'all got that one too.
Yep.
Okay. The second announcement, as we have tried to do consistently, but not always been consistent, for our anniversary, we do have a giveaway that's going on. The link is in the places. If you've ever entered a Loving BDSM giveaway before, it will look completely different. That's because the site I used to use is going out of business. So I was like, maybe I won't use you this time. I'll go somewhere else.
Doors.
Yeah. We have 4 prizes. Multiple ways to enter. The prizes are essentially for first. Nope. What are fucking words, y'all? Let me maybe take a beat. Let me try to calm myself. Let's try this the fuck again. If we were professionals, we'd edit this out. Okay.
No, I won't.
So, there are 4 prizes. The fourth, I placed them, I ranked them because they get, there's different levels is what I did because it felt right. And so that's what I did, y'all. The 4th place prize, you will get we will ship to you, yes, even if you're international, our 10th podcast anniversary enamel pin. I'm Southern. Pin and pin are the same. I'm talking about PIN enamel pin. We had it specially created. It was the 2025 Patreon membership drive. One of it was the big goodie for this year, and we're not putting them like out available to the public. You got to be connected to us, giveaway, Patreon, whatever, to have access to get one. So they're prizes. So that's 4th place. 3rd place, you're going to get a $10 gift card to Kinky, and I have to do it as a coupon code, but basically $10 to spend in our Loving BDSM Etsy shop and the pin. 2nd place, you get a $25 Kinky gift card and $25 to spend at our Etsy shop and a pin. I have several pins. I'm trying to get these in people's hands, y'all. And the top prize, the one, you get a $50 Kinky gift card, $50 to spend at the Loving BDSM Etsy shop. And guess what? You know, a pin. So, we have done giveaways in the past where like I am shipping multiple things to multiple places, and I would just like to email most of it and then mail a small thing. That's what I'd like to do this year. It only took me 10 years to figure this shit out.
Better late than never.
We sort of figured the gift card and the discount and the whatever might be interesting to some of y'all. Those gift cards and codes and whatever, they'll be done by email. They won't have an expiration date. Yes, they can be combined with coupons. Except maybe the Etsy one. I don't think the Etsy one could be, but the Kinky one you could. So the giveaway has started as of the sound of my voice and runs until 11:59 p.m. Eastern on August 31st. Me, with weird things about time and dates, thought I would stop this giveaway in the middle of the month, like a week before, and I went, I'm not going to remember that date. That's not... Like, saying the end of the month feels like a round number. It's not a round number, but it's got the same vibe. I know some of y'all have to know what I mean. I know not everybody does, but some of y'all have to know, like, that feel. It's a good round number. The very last day of the month. The last minute of the last day of the month. That's when the giveaway is. There's tons of ways to enter. You know, so... Please, if you are interested in any of those prizes, you want to celebrate our 10 years with us, go forth. Links in the places. We've barely begun, and I've already gone off the fucking rails.
That didn't take long, did it?
But, okay. Let's get into this. So I have broken our podcast anniversary episode into sort of like, let's look at the past. Let's do what we do, which is answer some questions. And then let's like do a little bit of dreaming. Okay. And the dreaming was a suggestion from Yarn and Whiskey in our Discord server, available through our Patreon. So I who am almost never on FetLife, y'all, I just almost never am, went on there today, what are days? I don't know, yesterday, and was like, oh, let's do a poll. Let's ask questions. And we got responses. And so I'm going to do a thing that I usually would not do this way because it makes me deeply uncomfortable to say out loud nice things people say about me. That's a me thing, but I'm going to do it because some of these things were so freaking cool. So on our FetLife page, profile, whatever, I put the poll out that said, do you consider yourself a cricket? And then your options were, I'm a proud cricket, and what the fuck is a cricket? It's okay to not know what a cricket is, because I will explain it for anybody who doesn't, because 81% of our poll respondents said, I'm a proud cricket, but 19% who are following us did say, what the fuck is a cricket? So I also asked for folks to leave comments and let us know when and or where you found the podcast. Because, you know, we do have, at least that I know of, at least a handful of people who've been with us from the very beginning, but a lot of people kind of filtered in over the years, you know. So I'm going to read those comments. I'm not going to say names. It's not fully private because it's on our FetLife, but I'm just going to read the comments. But let's start with what a cricket is. This is not the first time we've explained it. If you know what a cricket is, feel free to zone out for 5 minutes. It's fine. So, when we first started doing the podcast, it was just us talking. We'd have a topic, but as y'all know well, I go off on tangents, and somebody, rightly so, left a comment or sent an email or whatever and said, look, I like your stories, but I love your topics. But when you go off on a side tangent, I get lost. Could we, not do that? But it was always stuff I wanted to talk about because, to me, the way I can do this, and it's why I just tell y'all we're nothing special, we're just weirdos on the internet, is because I have to feel like I'm sitting, at a kitchen table or sitting in a coffee shop or just chatting with, people who are friends or people who we are vibing together in some way, right? And so then there are all these side things I always, they come to mind.
Yeah.
Y'all have been here. Y'all have heard them. So what we did was we created the bonus section. And I know that's a misnomer. I know if you're new, you think, ooh, I'm going to get extra kink content. No, you're not. You're going to get our random thoughts and hear about our lives in different ways and know way too much about our pets. Okay, that is what you can do. But when we first started it, I would say things like, there's probably not going to be anybody here. We're going to be talking to the crickets. There's going to be crickets chirping in the background. Nobody's actually going to listen to this. Why would anybody want to listen to this? And after not that long after we started the bonus section to try to keep me more on track, somebody tweeted at us and said, I listened to the bonus section. I am a proud cricket. And crickets and proud crickets became a total, I just went with it. I embraced the shit out of it because I was like, man, if you can sit through us trying to be serious, but we are who we are, and then get to that point where we're like, okay, we're not actually talking about kink anymore. We're talking about random shit. And you want to be there? Y'all are proud crickets. And so I have used that off and on. We use it a little bit more heavily through our Patreon. I've sort of embraced it even more. Yeah.
You don't have it, but I know over time we've had some listeners send us cricket art.
And I had one listener who sent us some cricket art and said, you are allowed to use it. And I was like, cool, but I will never put that up for sale because that's their work. That's not licensed. So when I use their work, it is Patreon goodies. It's like you have to be in that part of our community to get access to some of that stuff. And for folks who have asked for more Proud Cricket stickers, because I used one of the designs for stickers several years ago, I was pricing them out today. I'm waiting for a better sale to come up from where I usually get them. I am pricing them out. So that's what the hell a cricket is, if you're like, what the fuck? So 81% of the folks on FetLife who answered the poll said, I'm proud cricket. I love y'all for that. By the way, if you do not listen to the bonus section, if you're like, I can only take so much of this chaos, we're not offended. We really are not. I have said over the years, we've both said, everything you learn about how to navigate kink, those skills are transferable. Communication, consent, privacy. So, when we say we take consent seriously, we mean in every aspect of life. I want you to listen to the shit you want to listen to, and I want you to have the ability to opt out when you need to opt out, right? So that extends to small things like the bonus section. Okay. So I'm going to do the thing that's going to make me very embarrassed because I am really not good at this. But I wanted JB to hear this. I wanted, some of y'all to hear it if you're like, because I think some people might see themselves in some of these things. So I'm gonna read these comments that were left. I've got to scroll. See, people were like really open. I'm trying to be in order here. Oh no, I shouldn't have scrolled. That was the problem. Okay. First person says, I think I found your podcast in 2018. I feel like maybe I saw a thing about it at one of the kinky events I went to forever ago. I don't usually listen every week, but I'll definitely binge some episodes when I get the chance, especially the ones that are pertinent to my dynamic at the time. We've currently been reworking our dynamic from the ground up or close to, and your episodes have been very helpful in being talking points for how our needs and lives have changed. Thank you for being a resource for those of us doing 24/7. I know. See, you needed to hear these.
Yeah.
I can get over my awkwardness. Somebody said, tune in radio, YouTube, 2017. You know what? If you don't remember and time is hard, same. Okay. Used to listen when I was diving back into Power Exchange. I was isolated looking for community. I am a kink educator now, and I still point people towards your podcast. Thank you. Okay. I found your podcast about 6 months after it started. Woo, you were here when we were rougher than we are now. When I was looking for podcasts to listen to on a road trip, and I've been listening ever since. Listening to your podcast is like hanging out with friends. That's the vibe. I can't remember who said it to me one time, that it was like sitting around a kitchen table, drinking coffee, talking about
chat, yeah.
And I didn't know that. I couldn't have articulated that until they did it for me. But that's been in my head ever since. Which is why, for anybody who's like, why isn't this slicker? Why isn't this more professional? You know, because this is the vibe we're going for. It's okay if somebody's not into it, but if I have to make it like my job, like, and take it seriously on a surface level, like not the content, not the, caring about audio quality or whatever, but like make it, quote, look a certain way or be a certain way to just like impress from appearance's sake, I'm going to get bored really fast. So yeah, it can always be better, but we're going for a vibe here. Okay. Next comment. Found y'all after my rough divorce. I'm so sorry. When I wanted to immerse myself into the BDSM/kink lifestyle. Been my only constant in a world of chaos. I'm glad we could be that for you. The next person said, I think it was either 2017 or 2018, which is we were still rough. And someone in a Facebook group recommended y'all's podcast as a good reference, and I've been listening ever since. There's always something worthwhile there, and my favorite parts are when Kayla has a air quote rant. Right? Not hard to get me there. They're very cleansing for me. I'm always very embarrassed, like when we're done recording and streaming, and I'm like, oh my God, I just lost my shit over that. I know my face was really red. I got one of those things. But they are very cleansing. It's a big energy expenditure, but it feels good. Okay. This one legit had me tearing up, and I told this person that. Okay. I wish I could express in words just how much it has meant to have your podcast, the Friday Hangouts, etc., to look forward to over the years. My wife found your podcast, I want to say about 6 years ago, and it was invaluable in the early days of our journey together into this world and community. I have to admit, life has taken me in some odd directions the last 2 years, and I went from being on just about every live stream to 0. It happens. And it's left a big hole in my heart for a while. I think all the crickets here can relate that your content isn't just about kink and BDSM. It's about life and navigating life in general, maybe through the lens of kink, but you've created a community and you've helped a lot of people. You're the only content creators I subscribe to in a paid sense, Patreon. Thank you for being a proud cricket. And I keep up my membership even without listening because you deserve the support. I'm going to stop there because it goes into other things, but I will read this part because I think other folks can relate. Kayla, you helped my wife be okay with being who she is. You helped her understand that it was okay to embrace her little tendencies and accept that part of her is real and not broken. Also, John, thank you for showing the world that a dom isn't just what the movies might lead you to believe it is, and that tops need care and consideration too. Vulnerability is not a weakness. You do good work, is all. And others recognize it. I mean, I've been trying to pimp you out for 10 years. I'm just saying. Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm still scrolling. Folks left, like, this was cool. I don't go asking for this kind of thing ever. So this was kind of cool. This one, listen to this. Google Podcasts is how they found us. Back when you were recording in a closet, you were only 15 episodes in at that time. And I think that's about when you came in. I think I did like the first, I don't know how many. I'd have to go look.
Remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
But there came a point I kind of went, could you please come do this with me?
Well, actually, the way you went about it was...
Tell me how you remember, because you know my memory's shit.
Okay, the way I remember it is you came to me and said you were doing this particular episode.
Okay.
And you felt it would be helpful to have a Big D's perspective.
Okay, I have vague memories of that. Do
Yeah.
I remember what that topic was?
No.
We'd have to go look in the archive. Don't have a fucking clue. But then, we got such positive feedback from that. And it was so much fun, even though we were sweating our ass off in that damn closet. Oh, my God.
The episodes were a lot shorter then.
They were. But also,
Yeah.
that's when I went off on, like, side tangents because
Yeah.
the brain fell off the tracks and one thought begat another thought. Okay. Next comment. We have a good friend that introduced us to your podcast, and we've been listening for roughly the last year and have loved it all. Thank you guys for what you do. Welcome. This one does not actually answer the question, but it did tickle me. How come someone might see this poll and wonder what the fuck is a cricket? I mean, do some people follow your account without listening to the podcast? Or maybe they always skip the intro and the outro. It's fine. It's fine.
Right.
And then the last one, I'm not sure when I found the podcast, but I know it was on Spotify. I love the live stream. You helped me through the death of my first owner. I am so sorry for your loss. I can't imagine not hearing your advice and life challenge. And hearing your advice and life challenges. It's helpful hearing other people raising mini humans within a kink dynamic as well. Yeah, it's so weird to me that we're like super close to not raising the humans anymore.
I know it doesn't seem real.
Wild.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the retrospective. Like, we've had folks coming in and out. I mean, I've had some people who, for different reasons, they've reached out and said, okay, maybe I'm not going to do Patreon anymore. Maybe this, maybe that. And they kind of drift away for whatever's going on in their life, and then they come back when it's right. I know how I am, but I think the last few years we've had our version of this where, there are points in your life where you might intensely be into BDSM, whether it's learning or it's, conventions or it's participating in community and like you're just deep the fuck in it. And then there comes like something's going on in life and you have to, it kind of has to fade to the background. We made it our professional life, so even when it fades, it never really fades. And I'm grateful for that because pretty sure one of the few things that kept me sane for the several years of our life was the fact that we had our power exchange, even if it was a muted, dulled down version of it. But that makes sense that sometimes you're in and out, and we get it. I like it when people like randomly find us. I like it when people are like, I used to listen. It's been a few years, and I like it all. I'm always very happy, and pleasantly surprised, but also fucking shocked that everybody's like, yeah, I could listen to you ramble for an hour and a half. It's because you cut in with like your chill vibe. I'm over here like pure chaos, Tasmanian devil sort of thing.
What do they call it? Chaos Gremlin?
That I am absolutely. And you know what? You want to know what's sad about that? I desperately don't want to be a chaos gremlin. I have not embraced that about myself. I find it very embarrassing sometimes because chaos is fun when I'm making jokes and we're all like having a good time. But then I'm like, what was I just saying? What are the words I like to use? Did that even make any sense? So, is there anything you are thinking about from the past?
The thing, I just, doing what we did earlier.
Yeah, a spoiler in case you would not normally go listen to the podcast, but the podcast listeners who are like here with us now, for the intro, only the intro, we did it old school. We went into our bedroom closet with a laptop and we recorded the intro like the old days.
Yeah.
But unlike the old days, we needed a chair.
Yeah. And neither one of us was going to sit on the floor.
No. And
we'd still be there.
Crawling is the only way we go. And we only were able to last 5 minutes. Like, there's no stamina for being in a hot, stuffy closet for more than a few minutes.
But the whole progression of what has, or the evolution.
Both, I think.
Started out in a closet with a laptop.
It was an old laptop when we started on it. It was old. Like, I'd been using it for a few years from my previous big girl job.
Right.
Started my freelance life on it.
Yeah.
And then started a podcast on it.
Mm-hmm. And then from the closet, we went to my desk.
Yes. Oh, those videos are on YouTube. They're not visually appealing at all. But yeah, that's when I was like, well, let's just do this for more people and in more places.
And from the desk, we moved to the love seat.
Well, before we went to the love seat, for a time, we were doing when we were renting the house, when we moved to where the town we live in now. No, you're right. Well, you're right. At the condo, we were in the love seat.
Condo,
so
we were in the love seat.
Rely on my memory. I have a shit memory.
Okay, that was when we did the love seat.
Okay.
When we moved here to Ocala and we were in the rental, that's when we did the fireplace chats.
Yes, but sometimes we would also do desk stuff.
True.
Right.
But for the most part, it was the fireplace.
Yes. Yes. And those videos are getting a little traction on YouTube. It's very strange. I'm looking at stats. I'm looking at my YouTube dashboard, and I'm like, that's a very old view of me. I was thinner, younger, and sitting in front of a fireplace.
Right.
That's several years ago.
and then we moved where we are now, and this has been...
We bought this house primarily for this office that we are in.
Yep. So, we had looked at a lot of houses.
Yeah.
And this one was...
We walked into this room and went, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
And then we realized we had this decent-sized backyard, and there was a garden shed at the time, but we were like, aha.
Yep.
So, yeah. And then we'll kind of get into this because we have a section on the future. But we haven't talked about it in the past couple weeks, but for a while we were doing some serious talking about we want to change our video setup. We still have to be in this room because this is the room we have, at least for right now. I don't think I'd want to use the oldest bedroom because it's like it shares a wall with the youngest bedroom.
Right.
And this is still, they can still hear shit. I've just had to go, I'm here for questions if you've got them. They're at the age of, I just like to pretend I didn't hear you say all of those things you just said while I was in the kitchen. But so we've talked about how we want to update, how we sit, our background, what we want to use for streaming. We can't update the camera because those are too damn expensive.
Yeah, right now that's out of the question. But we've been talking about some time now. These chairs have outlived their usefulness and comfort.
They were never comfortable.
No, not really.
They were cheap from IKEA. Nearly, maybe everything in this office. Nearly everything in this office is IKEA. There's a couple things that aren't. But
your desk is, I think, the only.
I could count things. We could do a whole inventory, but pretty much, like this desk we're sitting at, the chair, the uncomfortable chair, but it was like a $20 chair. We for audio listeners who are like, okay, what you gonna do for us? For everybody, we have never pinpointed what the hell is going on with sound quality.
Right.
Mic cord, whatever these mics are, like several years old. We have talked about maybe upgrading the mics or just replacing the mics. So
the scratchiness, I don't know. Never
can't find it.
I have replaced these cables numerous times. I've even switched channels on the soundboard.
And it's not a constant.
No.
It's just a blippy here and there.
It's it's our little gremlin.
Well, from one chaos gremlin to another. Read the fucking room, okay? Little scratchy gremlin sound. What else? What else?
I don't know. That's kind of it. I mean, as far as the evolution to where we are now, but I am looking forward to seeing what we'll come up with to change. I'm definitely looking forward to more comfortable chair.
I know, and I think we need a refresh. Like sometimes life has forced a refresh because we've literally changed locations.
Right.
But now,
And that's part of why we've also been thrifting a little bit, hoping to find something that appeals and is functional and
worth the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, our days of just going to IKEA and going, I want that, that, and then getting on the floor to build it. No, we will thrift. And so what the fun part about that is, when we find it, it'll be a pleasant surprise, and it'll probably be a little quirky and a little fun, because if it's not going to be comfy and it's going to be something we want to sit for a couple of hours at a time, talking to one another, then so. I came across, it was a single chair that didn't actually look like it would be very comfortable overall, but it was cute. But then I looked at the price tag and I went, oh, that's right. This is an antique store, not a thrift store.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah.
Get my ass out of here. It was cute, though. So, how, I know what you've told me privately, but so you share what you want to share. How have you felt and maybe grown or not grown comfortable with this whole, like in 2015, the thing was, hey, I want to start this podcast. I want to talk about these things, but I don't know how to edit and I don't really want to know. I got too much going on. Would you be willing to be my tech support and do the editing for me? That's all I need from you. That's the only time commitment. Well, clearly. And you were not, immediately, I don't think anybody is ever immediately comfortable, recording your own damn voice. But I know you were not initially comfortable.
No.
10 years on, where are you at with that?
I'm a lot more comfortable with it. There was a time, you putting me in front of the mic and you want me to talk? What?
When I let you have a mic, there were years where people were like, could you please let JB get in front of the mic or have his own?
Yeah. And I started getting comfortable with that.
Audio only.
And then you fucking sprung video on me,
Well, because I had this, I was sort of trying to chase the, can we grow? How many more people can we reach? Which there's nothing wrong with reaching more people. But it was this view from a content creator standpoint, not necessarily community and chatting. That wasn't from that standpoint. And so I was like, where can we be? What can we do?
Right.
But I'm not doing double work. So if I record it once, we got to find a way to use it twice.
and I've become much more comfortable with all of it, obviously. The one thing that has not changed in 10 years and probably will not ever change, I still cannot listen to my voice.
Yeah, and after all these years, I'm used to hearing mine.
I can't.
And yet you have a voice that not everybody, obviously, but some people really like to listen to. You've got one of those it's not, unless you're making it overly growly and sexy. It's mostly just this nice soothing voice.
I mean, it's like I'm reading the stories,
for our Patreon.
For the Patreon, and I guess people like it, but it would be an editing hell for me to have to listen to it.
Yeah, that was the agreement. He would read the stories. He would record himself reading, but I had to learn how to use the Audacity and learn how to edit them. And I'm a little power crazy with the edit, but I'm like, I can splice and dice. There are times, because it happens to anybody who's reading out loud, and this is not something he's doing professionally, so, and he's new. We've only been doing it a few months. Where, sometimes you kind of, when I say you, I mean the general you, anybody who has to read out loud, there's a slight stumbling over words. Well, I learned because the editing can be finessed enough, I splice out and you just sound like you just said it like it. I was like, damn. It was. Yeah, I'm the power. I don't know if I should have that kind of control.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when you first approached me with this whole podcast thing,
yeah.
And I was doing the editing, I was doing the same thing. I was editing down with a fine-tooth comb, boy, and just, for what you could do with what we had at that time.
Sure.
And you know, as more and more people, as we, you know, progressed, that we were doing, you know, video and then live
longer
stream,
episodes, yeah.
and you know, people are like, you know, no, we enjoy, we like it, that, you know, we like hearing. I started editing less and
editing
less.
became less stressful for you. That's why
Yeah.
I make the joke. If we were professionals, we'd edit some of this. We don't. We really don't.
Yeah.
We will, if we absolutely have to, re-record a podcast intro. Usually because something that's just like, it's too distracting has happened, or I have just forgotten how to speak in mid-sentence. But we let it all, we just let the flubs go.
Yep.
So for anybody who's curious, the way I am and how I talk and how I forget words, that's how I can be in real life. I'm actually sometimes, a lot more comfortable in real life because I am very aware that there are eyes and ears on me. And I have, over all these years, I've never been able to forget that I am being watched and listened to, and I'm very well aware, because I spend time on the internet just like a lot of y'all do, that people who don't know you will interpret things, and people who do know you will interpret things ways you didn't. That was not your intention, but that's how they interpreted it, and I'm overly aware. But the way all this awkwardness, you get that in real life too. It's not a show. It's as realistic as I know how to be. So we've been talking about, over the past several months, like how our relationship is going, what we're doing with our relationship. Just to give some context in the evolution of our relationship alongside the podcast, we had actually only lived together a little bit over a year when I said I wanted to do the podcast. We'd only been together about 2.5, 3 years at that point. We were closing in on 3 years when we started it.
Yep. Because we weren't, you weren't doing anything when we were in the apartment.
No, yeah.
It wasn't
Couldn't
until
have
after.
even if we wanted to. Wasn't on my radar at all.
No.
And so, anybody who has either gone through the archive or has been here the whole time, you will probably have heard an evolution in our relationship, in how, what we talk about in terms of our relationship, how we talk to one another. I do think I have, over time, become a lot more relaxed. I've always been relaxed with you. After the certain point of the newness of our relationship kind of wearing off, and the newness of living together wearing off, like, I've always been relaxed. But the sass, look, I am, there are 2 times I'm very sassy. When I think I'm fucking hilarious. So that can be at any time. Y'all are here, we're in the bed, just the 2 of us. I'm cracking myself up. Sass City, okay? But the second time, after all these years, is when I know somebody else watching or listening will think it's funny. I have an audience for the sass that amuses me. Let's go. I do think I grew into that over time. It does, though, mean that a lot of people who randomly come across us and then clearly decide we're not their people, are not impressed with my sassiness. They are not fans. Nope. For all that, obviously, I do most of the talking on this podcast. For the rando that just showed up and don't know us, yes, I am the submissive. JB has never felt like he had to say more words than me in order to be the dominant. But it's mostly like, so let me back up to give the analogy. In the kinky.com, we work it together. We each have our own roles, but in my mind, that is your shop. Yeah. And I never thought of it this way till we had the kinky, but the podcast and the community and all, it works the same way. We each have our roles to play with this podcast, the live streams, Patreon, but it's treated like it's my thing. Now, I don't like to call that. It is our thing. But JB has always been the type of partner, and we do this for one another. I have to push him into a spotlight. He is really good at taking a step back and just letting me do a thing that I'm passionate about, that I'm good at, that whatever. And then he'll just kind of support me in the way that's right for him. So if there's ever anybody who's like, JB doesn't talk very much, because JB don't want to talk very much, okay? When JB wants to talk.
When I have something to say, I'll say it.
I made this comment several episodes ago. It's probably been a few months ago. I don't remember what the podcast episode was about, but I think I was like in my feelings about, you know, the criticism that comes with how much I fucking talk. And I was like, y'all, if JB was doing this and it was JB, it's a 10-minute podcast.
Yeah.
And that is not a criticism. It's just a difference between the two of us. I am finally...
It's a red flag. You need to talk about it.
Right, and he's done. No context, no examples. He's not repeating himself. That's it. If you got it the first time, great. If you didn't, sucks to suck. But we balance each other out because I'm going to tell you 85 times until you're like, please, I got it. I got it the fourth time you said it. So we compliment one another.
Yes.
The one thing that we have consistently over the years, I have consistently over the years gotten critique for, and it's fair. It's a fair critique because I'm always like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that, is interrupting you. Now, what you have to realize is in our relationship, and this is our relationship on display. The way I talk to JB here is how I talk to him, y'all. If he does not like me interrupting, he will tell me so. Okay? He's like, you interrupted me. Stop. I have something to say, right? So I think it's sweet that y'all are offended on his behalf. I am mortified when I go back and I'm like listening or watching or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I just stopped him in mid-thought. It doesn't always look like it, but I try to be more mindful of that.
You have been. You have.
Because there are many people, they're not here for me. They might be here for the sass and the humor. They want to hear what you got to say. And I want to figure out how I can make JB say more than 100 words in an hour. Okay? I'm working on it. Okay. So, where was I going? Okay. Is there anything else you want to say about the build up to us getting here, and here we are 10 years later?
No.
Okay. So now we're going to do what we do. I put it out several places, but it's summertime and there's not usually a lot of like movement on social media. I'm used to it after all these years. That is the thing I have grown used to mostly. So I didn't expect to get like a million questions. Which is why I was like, let's piece together a whole show. But I did over on Instagram. I did on YouTube. I did on FetLife. I was like, hey, you got a question? You know, go ahead and ask it. We'll answer them during this episode. So this is us doing what we do. See, there's a whole pattern here.
Wow.
Like, I actually tried to work. Almost professional.
Fascinating.
I know. First question. What is one thing you fell in love with when you first met the other, and what is your favorite thing now about each other?
I think the thing that really got me was how supportive you were on so many things.
Yeah, I remember some surprises where you were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm supporting you. That's what we do here."
And you know, yeah, that's what that's how you hooked me in.
I did.
And now, I tell you, the one thing I think about the most with us right now is when we are in bed at night and we're done reading.
We've put our phones down. Put our devices down.
All devices are down. And you can make me fucking laugh.
I'm always very proud of myself for that.
To no end. And I love that because I need that.
You get very much in your head.
Yeah.
Very much in your feels. And I cannot stand for you to be unhappy. I will be as silly as I have to be so that I can get you to laugh.
And you do. You get that goofy silliness. It's like a bedtime Zoomy without, running around, but it's all in the...
I mean, there's some physical, chaos. Yeah. Well, look. And so this is what happens when your dominant is also a sadist, and not just like a physical sadist, but like a mental, emotional, consensually sadist. I'm going to say a thing and he's going to remember this and I'm going to pay for this later. But this is what we do here. So, yes, a lot of the zoomies are verbal. It's my mind like ping-ponging left, right, and center. But some of those zoomies are physical.
They are,
because JB will put his arm and like hold me down, and I fucking love being pinned down. Like, pin me down. The great dickening from several weeks ago, he started by pinning me down. It was so good. And so this is my sass. I do not claim the brat label. I could see where you could squint your eyes and call this bratty, but I'm being sassy. Is I will absolutely physically get chaotic in hopes that he will pin me down. And when he doesn't, I just get worse. I just get worse. Now, if he said to me,
"Why don't you love me? Why don't you love me?
If you love me, you'd pin me down.
You'd pin me down."
Now, if he were to say, "Baby girl, stop," I'm a stop. I'm a good girl. I'm a stop. But until he does, I'm going to just flop like a fish out of water until I am pinned the fuck down. And now that I've like said that publicly, he either just won't do it or he'll just tell me to stop moving because I said I would stop moving if you told me to stop moving. And I won't get pinned for like a week until I like get real sad about not being pinned. Because that's the sadist. Like, not all pain is physical pain, okay?
No.
So, one of the things I fell in love with you, it's, I can't just say one because it's all tied together. Your openness and communication and your steadiness. There was no bullshit, I'm gonna be quiet, I'm gonna drift away, I'm like, there were none of those mind games that sometimes get played between, newish partners in that process. You were who you said you were. You did what you said you would do. Like, very quickly, I could trust your word. And I knew that if I sent the text, if I sent the email, if I reached out, you were there. There was none of this, like, some of that weird bullshit that...
Wondering if...
Yeah.
I get it.
We did not play games like that, and you just showed up as who you were. You didn't try to be somebody you're not. You weren't trying to you weren't purposely trying to just impress me. You just were, and I liked who you were, and I liked the fact that I could trust that the person in email was the same person in text, was the same person on the phone, was the same person in person. I never had doubts about that.
Okay.
Now, oh my God, there's too many to just go, it's my favorite thing now. In terms, if we're going to talk in terms of what we're doing here, it's the fact that almost every crazy fucked up idea I have for, professionally, you're like, okay, baby girl. Okay, I got you. Let's, if you could figure out how we can do it. Okay.
Yep.
But you are probably the most supportive human I've ever had in my life. And I didn't come from a family where I wasn't supported. Like, I was, it was expected that I would excel in things. So I was supported in that way. But it's almost like you never doubt me. You might have questions about, like, how's this going to work? And what does this take? Like, you're uncertain about the thing.
What is this based on?
But if I come to you and go, I got an idea, I'd like to try this, but you just go, once the logistics in your head are kind of, you're like, okay. You're just like completely, that is how you rope your partner into a 10-year podcast, y'all. You get one that just, fucking believes in you and will go on the wild ride with you, And that's literally one of many things. Like, the fact that you do think I'm funny and that you are my safe person and I can be the weirdest, most real version of myself. There's no mask with you. I completely unmask.
Yeah.
In a way that I was saying this the other day to somebody. I don't, like, not in the same way, like, socially and with strangers, but, I wear a bit of a mask even as a parent. Like, there are certain things I don't let my kids see. There are certain ways I carry myself as a parent that, it took years for them to get to see how weird their mother was. Thankfully, kids are like really observant. They already knew I was weird. I think they wwere just happy I was comfortable showing it. But yeah, like you're just, I can be my whole ass self with you. And you're like, yep, I didn't know I was signing up for this, but yep, let's do this. You just, I don't know. Okay. Now, we're going to get into the help me with things, because that's what we do here, those questions. We have answered this in a version of this many times, but it's always worth having a reminder of our answer for this. The question is, how does pegging work if I'm a sub and my partner has expressed interest in being pegged? So the submissive would do the pegging for their partner.
I mean, the first thing, and I think that we talked about that extent in, doing it as an act of service.
Yes, because inserting a toy or a body part in another human does not make you the dominant one automatically.
No. So, as an act of service, that's definitely one way to approach it.
Yeah, or if you're not a service sub, but you're like a sub who does what their partner tells them to, consensually negotiate it, make sure you're comfortable, but if it helps, do it from your partner wants you to do this, so you will do this for your partner. As an act of submission, whether if service doesn't vibe. But part of it is getting past and getting beyond this idea that if I insert the thing in your body, that makes me dominant. No, it makes you the top, but it don't make you dominant. It's like years and years ago, one of many things that inspired this whole last podcast was when I went on a total like written ranting rampage on my personal blog that I have not written in forever. Same. About how oral sex, giving oral sex or receiving, you are not automatically a sub or dom depending on what you're doing, because I know who's in control when his mouth is where it goes. Okay, and it ain't me. It has never been me. Because there was this sort of misogynistic thing of especially if you're, a man and you are, going down on especially a woman, but anybody, if you are the one doing that makes you air quote submissive. And it's like, nah, there's power to be had in any sexual position. And it's a mind.
I feel sorry for them. They're missing out on a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, they 100% are. So that's the thing. If you could think of it as service, think of it as service. Yep. If you can think of it as an act of submission, cool. And then just remember that inserting does not automatically mean dominance. Clearly it can, but it doesn't have to. Okay, next question. I think came across as a little bit like, but I wanted to give you an opportunity because you need to talk more, damn it. Why would someone want to be a dom? What's the appeal about all that responsibility?
Well, for me, I can pinpoint where it came from, and I know for everybody it's going to be different. Okay, it's not a pat answer. My childhood was chaotic. It was and in this, and there were a lot of things that happened there that, for me, coming into the BDSM lifestyle and being a dominant, I was able to take back control. Yeah,
you don't do well when you're not in control.
No.
In all facets of life. We're not talking about just relationships.
Yeah. So that's where it is for me. Okay.
Follow-up side question.
Sure.
In terms of the taking on the responsibility, which if you are not naturally inclined toward a dominant role, I could see where the idea of taking on that responsibility can be overwhelming. Can you talk about what is it that you receive or get or whatever from?
Now here's the thing that I'm going to say about taking on the responsibility. And again, this speaks for us.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
This.
Your mileage will always vary.
Right. Different people, different results, kind of thing. Yes, there are times. Especially over our last few years.
Yeah.
There were times I thought to myself, I can't do this. Somebody else make some decisions,
right,
please.
Yeah.
But what helps keep that at bay for the most part with us is before we entered into our dynamic, we came at each other as equals. Mm-hmm. Okay? And even though I am the decision maker, in the end, when everything comes down to it, I know that I can trust to sit down with you and say, okay, what's going on here? What are we looking at? What options do we have? And we can sit and talk about all that stuff.
Right, so you don't bear the responsibility completely alone.
Right.
Right, you have support.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's what makes it.
Mm-hmm. And then sometimes, I would imagine, I don't want to speak for you. Mm-hmm. I know you'll correct me if I'm wrong. No. There's also there's a balance to have. There's responsibility, but then there is pleasure from the control. Mm-hmm. There's enjoyment. There's satisfaction. There's whatever. Mm-hmm. And so will not always be in balance. It's impossible. But in general, pick your amount of time, it has to be it has to balance itself out so that the responsibility is not, weighing so heavily and there's not enough pleasure and satisfaction or whatever it is, to go with it. Because, the same question can be asked, why would you want to submit? Why would you want somebody to tell you what to do? Well, I personally got some reasons, right? And it ultimately is, there's your reasons and then there's what you receive, So, where was I going with that? You moved real fast and I went, panic. So yeah, it's just,
I saw something pop up and I needed to.
Right. The whole thing is there's something you want and you receive it in a way that is ethical and consensual. And so for the rough times or the hard times or the things that carry a weight to them, they're balanced by whatever you're getting from that
True.
You need and you want and is satisfying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you navigate shame related to being a kinky person in a vanilla culture? That's a heavy one.
It is. It is. And for me, for a long time, I dealt with that. Mm-hmm. I think probably most people do coming into the lifestyle. And I think what helps me navigate it now more than anything is I have reached a point in my life where I have little fucks to give. And I don't.
Yeah.
It's not as important to me to navigate. I mean, I'm not blatant about it.
You're not walking around in leather and leading me by a leash.
Right.
We do not do that in public. That is not our jam.
No. But yeah, I mean, I look at doing certain things in public like that, and I know that's a whole conversation.
We've had those conversations before.
In public, people did not consent.
Right. Okay. Absolutely.
So, there's that. We're not doing. We're not. I'm not whipping out the flogger in public.
Right.
Okay?
We're not bringing people who did not consent to be in it with us.
Right.
Ever. So it gets to be a behind closed doors and or in spaces designated to be doing those things. From the conversations we've had, because I know at least one of the ways that you were in real life absolutely shamed for being kinky. I think some of it is a growing confidence in yourself over the years of realizing that you're not the only one and other people do this. And so you're not some like freak of nature out here, like just coming up with crazy shit.
Yeah.
You're like, there's a whole swath of humanity that's like, yeah, I'm kind of into that shit too. And, just in the time we've been together, and you knew you were kinky long before you knew I existed in this world. But even in the 2012, they're almost 13 years, I've watched you grow in confidence just because you've lived the kink life that you want to live in the way you want to live it. And that has evolved over the years. When the kids were younger, we were a lot quieter in our own home about it. When you had your own like corporate job, you had to be way under the radar. His face didn't get shown. No. We were super, super careful. We were less careful. I think that's kind of when we started doing video for the podcast, was when we stopped being concerned about that.
Not as well, the funny thing is, when we started doing the video, you were like, oh, we need to have Facebook pages and social media and stuff. And, at that time, neither of us were out. And, when...
Not to our vanilla life.
Not to, yeah. And, when I set up your... Because your Facebook we set up first and locked it down. Really good. Really well at that time. And kind of missed the target with mine.
Yep. And that's the thing, the shame is going to come from different places. There's the internalized shame, which JB dealt with early days of his kink life. Other than the wrapping my head around the fact that I was on the spectrum of being a little as a baby girl, I never felt the internalized shame of, oh, I'm submissive. Like, for me, that was a feeling of rightness. Like, I was like, oh, I make fucking sense now. And I felt good about that. But I'm not immune to the shame because in 2019, when the stepfather I kind of tolerate became the evil stepfather, it was because he went digging where he shouldn't have and then didn't like what he saw and then, tried to, in his way, he tried to shame us because he did not approve. He does not pay my fucking bills, so I don't need his approval. But he attempted to create a rift between me and my mother, and that's a whole thing. We got an episode way back. I'm not going into that at this point. But I kind of just realized recently I have been dealing with some level of, I don't know if shame is the right word for it, but a hesitancy. I basically stopped writing on my personal site after that because it no longer, I put it on the internet. It's not private, but I had kept that part of my life away from my non-kink life on purpose because I'd always, said if there was a chance that somebody in my non-kink life was seeing this, reading this, I would not feel as free. And when it happened and it came with an attempt to shame me and a whole dose of anger, I was like, I don't feel safe here anymore.
Correct. And that is something that has happened to other bloggers over the years.
Oh, yeah. I thought I was immune to it because by the time that got found out, my, writing about sex, talking about kink life had bought a fucking house, or was about to buy a house.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I have nothing to be ashamed of, but it still managed to stop me in my tracks. I've let most of that go. I've not gone back to writing. I don't know if I will, when I will. I don't think about that too much. I don't have time to think about that. But in terms of dealing with my internal feelings, I think it helped that happened after I had understood I was kinky for several years, had lived a kink life, had found a career in the kink world, and in some ways, because I was much more confident in who I was. But I also I surround myself with kinky people as much as possible.
Yeah.
And it's a way for me to sort of make it more normal, air quote all that. Like, we do taboo shit, and it's not, maybe it doesn't need to be normalized. I don't know. That's a separate debate. But, you know, I'd purposely put myself in places where I don't have to deal with anybody's judgment. I don't have to deal with whatever feelings that brings up in me. I just don't. I just don't want to, and I don't. So, you know, I am freely myself, and you see my face and whatever. Part of that is because the family fucking knows at this point, and I just warned them, don't go poking, because you can't unknow. But my life it is very strange to be called by my legal name. Let's put it that way. I am Kayla Lords.
Yeah.
You know, I'm legally Kayla Lords. I have a DB, doing business as. Yeah. I pay good money for that every few years. But I think a lot of it is a time thing. It's a community thing. It's a confidence thing in yourself. I am sure there's probably a therapeutic aspect, because I think it depends on where that shame is coming from. Are you, is it called deconstructing? It's where people who were raised in not good religious ways are trying to like kind of undo some of that to have the life they want, and to not have as much shame and guilt. And I'm not religious, so I'm not saying any of the words right, but somebody who knows would, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking. Yeah,
that is that's not a thing that I think you just wake up from, 6 months into your kink life or 6 years into your kink life, and you're like, oh, the shame is gone. Like, I think there's different avenues to how you deal with that. But what you said at the top is probably the most important. You got to run out of fucks to give. Yeah. I think that's different, because we've warned about this over the years, and it was a fear we had, because the kids were of a certain age when the evil stepdad lost his fucking shit. Yeah. People do lose custody over their kids, for people finding out they're kinky, and people do lose jobs. People do, you could get kicked out, you can get divorced. There is a loss to be had there for some people. And so if you are super private and you don't tell anybody, and you have a lot of fucks because you know what you have to lose, that's different. Once that was not really a concern of ours anymore, the fucks do sort of drift away eventually. Yeah. But I sometimes get confused in my head. I hate being perceived when I'm not trying to be perceived. And so sometimes I can't quite tell in my own head, is this a sense of shame, or is this the deep-seated hatred of being perceived by people that I don't know and have not welcomed into this thing, right? It's too personal. Kayla Lords is probably the rawest, most vulnerable version of who I am as a human being. And so it is very uncomfortable for people who don't fucking get it to perceive me. And so that's, it's all complex is what I would say. And there are many paths to get to the same outcome of going, this is who the fuck I am, take it or leave it. But also, if you are never like that and you're just like, this is what I do behind closed doors, and it's not for anybody else to know,
that's entirely fine too.
Valid.
Yep.
Okay, last one. It's kind of easy. What apps/websites do you trust for meeting a kinky partner? I don't trust anything for meeting people online. There's not a designation you go to and you're like, you can trust everything that happens here. This is the internet. Don't trust anything. Don't trust anything. Yeah. But are there better places than others? Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what to say on that. I really don't.
I'm going to do the thing I always say, and it's the boring answer. It's not the fun answer, because people really want to, if I just go to this one place, I'll do the thing. Kinky people exist on every platform, every app, every website, everywhere. We are everywhere. If you know you want a kinky partner, go to the places where the kinky people are gathering. FetLife is the top one because it's the most popular, but there are other sites that have kind of cropped up over the years that have a social aspect. Fetish.com, The Cage. There's several out there. I don't remember them all anymore. There is, I cannot remember the name of the app that is the most kink friendly. They're not like a kink dating app, but they are like, I think it's used primarily by like non-monogamous people, or it's friendly to non-monogamous people too. I cannot remember the name of the fucking app. But wherever, if doing that does not appeal, what social media site, what app are you most comfortable using? Like, you spend most of your time there? Okay, well, if you don't want this on your main account, create yourself an alt account that's just your kinky life, and just go to the extent that you can and that's safe for you and all that. Go be kinky on the internet in a place you like to be, like you like to hang out, because we are fucking everywhere. So the whole thing is, if you're willing to be open about that you're looking for a kinky partner, put that fucking shit out there. Go where you feel comfortable. And if a place makes you uncomfortable, just don't fucking be there. But like, get to know people as people. Our default answer is, and has always been, and I just think it's good. Make a fucking friend first. Make sure you like them as a human being, and you're like, yeah, I would share oxygen with this person, you know, not, oh, that is a dom and I'm looking for a dom, or that is a sub and I'm looking for a sub, and so I'm just gonna slot this person in because they have the title. Like, just go be a person on the internet, a kinky person, if that, you know, if you feel comfortable doing that. Alt accounts are great. I've been living by them for years. I actually now have an alt vanilla account. I locked that shit down though, even that one, and it's like, I don't have my legal name on it, but I blocked everybody in my vanilla life because I was like, I want privacy. This is for me to go look at what I want to look at and to talk to my college age kid, not for the rest of you. So yeah, the life is weird because my alt account is vanilla.
Yeah.
So strange.
I get it. I do.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, FetLife has the reputation for being a cesspit, and it can be. But Instagram can be a cesspit. Yeah. Facebook is a cesspit. Let's just... I'm going to need, like, everybody's oldest generation family member with access to Facebook to get them to stop sharing that AI bullshit. Like, come on now. But it's a matter of vetting. It's a matter of getting good at kind of listening to, you know, whatever your intuition might be telling you. For me, that's definitely a gut thing. And checking vibes and being willing to go, I don't even know why I feel iffy about you, but no, like, you've made me feel iffy, you know. And it's a time thing, and it's a weeding through a lot of crap to find like a couple of decent people. And sometimes you'll have to take breaks from it. Sometimes you'll have to go, I don't want to be on this site anymore, fuck that, and go be on another one. But also, it's in person too. It's munches if you can find them, if you have access to them, or it's specific kink communities. A lot of them are through Discord these days. Now, our Discord is through our Patreon because that is how I feel safe. I want people to be in that type of community where you get a lot more access to me than you do anywhere else. To be people that I like, feel like I have a sense of who you are. Like, I can't have a Discord that's literally open to everybody, or that I have to spend a lot of time vetting people for. That's not me. But there are Discord communities, so you can go, if you can find one that where you feel comfortable, or people you trust are in it, and they're like, hey, here's what you got to do to get in, or whatever. Do that. But always go into any of those spaces knowing you've got to weed out a bunch of shit, considering a vibe check. Even if you're out of practice and you never listen to your gut, or your gut, you're like, but my gut's been wrong. There's so many fucking people on this planet. Let your gut be wrong. Weed them out. Because you can't talk to, be with, date, try out everybody. So, you know, and make friends. From there, maybe you'll meet somebody. Maybe something will grow into more, you know. And it is the most boring, not fast answer. And I know people hate it when they ask. They're like, just tell me the one place I gotta go. It don't work that way. But yeah. So, there is that. Those were all the questions. Okay. This is a very long episode, so normally on a Q&A I'd be like, live chat. Yeah, nope, that's what Friday night's for. We do a Q&A during our Friday night live stream. You can ask questions then. So, we've done our job of a thing we do now. We've tried to help people and given our perspective on things.
Yep.
And always, your mileage may vary, and you can reject any advice we give you. We do not pay your bills, okay? Quite frankly, some of y'all pay ours. But if a piece of advice from anybody does not fucking serve you, ignore it. Go do something else. It's fine. So now, it's the third layer of this 10th podcast anniversary episode. Woo. And this is a thanks to Yarn and Whiskey from our Discord server, who has been around a hot ass minute. Shout out. I hope Yarn and Whiskey's listening or watching. This was because I went into Discord and I was like, hey, I'm trying to plan this episode. What would y'all like? And Yarn and Whiskey was like, can you, like, we're getting to watch you plan your power exchange, sort of like what's happening in the future. What's the dream, the podcast? Like, where are you going? What do you do next? What are you aiming for? What are you dreaming about? Look, I'm just trying to get to next week and know that I know what topic we're going to do. So I'm not sure that I have dreams. Do you have dreams?
And see, I look at it in a totally different aspect, because I look at it from the tech side.
Okay. Oh, that's valid, because the tech side indicates, and I'm like, what creates the experience.
And I mean, it's pie in the sky, because I think, like, what
dream big and manifestation and all that stuff.
The evolution of just about everything from what, not just how we have evolved, but what comes next. LB holograms.
Oh my God! No. I have not figured out yet if I've been burnt out, or if I'm still recovering from the crises we endured for a few years. I am just really happy, like right now, with being able to figure out, usually but not always, prior, like before the day of we record or a live stream, what we're going to talk about, and to feel like we're talking about things that are relatable to people who care about power exchange, because like not all kinky people want the relationship like we've got. Like, they don't want that kind of dynamic. They want the kinky play. They want something casual. They want something different than what we talk about here. But after 10 years, we have not talked about all of it, but there comes a point where you start feeling like, man, didn't I say that before? And there's the fear of not being that relevant. In a world where it feels like more and more people have shorter attention spans, having hour to hour and a half long podcasts where it gets chaotic, and sometimes, I forget how words work. I kind of, when I'm thinking about it, I feel like I have to think about it in terms of, what do I enjoy doing versus what do I think will, and I'm using this as a metaphor, sell. Like, what will get people's attention? What will, what will draw them in? And I just want to have interesting conversations that will be meaningful for people just trying to live this fucking life with whatever the rest of your life looks like, right? But I always feel like I feel more confident when we're talking about topics that we can relate directly back to our power exchange. Which does mean that sometimes it gets very boring, because it's like we're not doing much, but so I have not been thinking like big things in terms of the future. What I'm when I think of the future, I'm like, okay, I hope I don't get bored, because man, the moment I get bored doing something, it's like pulling teeth to get me to do it. It's like I don't want to get bored doing this. I want to keep doing this until I don't want to do this anymore. But also, do I have anything to say? Is it new enough or interesting enough where people are like, yeah, I'll give you an hour and a half of my time. So like, I sometimes, because I'm usually, and prior to probably a few years ago, I was always like a planner, and I had goals and I had things I was striving for. And the past couple years, I've mostly just been trying to exist. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think living in the moment and just like doing what you got to do, that sometimes that's just how people are. I was never like that, but I think this time of my life I am. So when I start thinking, should I set goals for the podcast, for the YouTube channel, I actually get a little overwhelmed. I'm like, no, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And that there's lots of different reasons for that. Burnout might be part of it. Recovery from crap might,
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like I want to keep doing what we're doing in a way that is interesting for the people interesting enough for the people who want to be here, who are already here, that, understand our vibe, whatever, and say something that's like genuinely helpful, that's genuinely relevant, that's like, doesn't feel like we're slogging through a topic and your eyes are glazing over as we slog, right? But like, what new thing do I want to be on? Oh no. Every time I think about a different platform or a different way of doing things, I get either overwhelmed or I get tired. Mm-hmm. When I think about what kind of new content could we come up that's different than what we do, I'm like, no, I don't have any ideas right now. And if I like try to push myself, then I'm like, no, I feel overwhelmed. So then I just don't. I feel bad for not having more dreams and plans and a vision for the future. Because what I don't want to do, I don't want us to stagnate. I don't want us to, be unhelpful. But I also know that this is about me personally. This is not about our kink life. It's not about the podcast. I am at a place in life right now where I am not comfortable with feeling like strangers have eyes on me. Now, let's be real. Parasocial relationships being what they are. For a handful of y'all, I've literally met you in real life. You are not strangers to me. But the rest of you know way more about us than I will ever know about you, right? But it's different. Y'all are here because you want to be here. You get our vibe. Like, this is our kitchen table, and we're all, like, hanging out and talking, right? But when I think about ways we could grow and things I could do and new content I could create, it means I'm going to put myself out there in places like on Instagram, where I enjoy being mostly, to people who don't know this vibe, who don't know what I'm like, who don't, get my vibe. And also I'd have to learn another new skill in front of people. Like, I learned how to podcast by podcasting. I learned how to stream and make videos by doing it. So I had to be bad at something and then put it out there for the world and go, we'll try to do better next time. And, I gained a comfort level with that. But when I think about trying to do that now, like trying to learn how can I do short form content? Can I be concise? Can I stick to a single point and get it out there in less than a couple minutes and not ramble? And I'm like, I would have to be bad at that before I could get good at that. And the idea of being bad at it, where people who don't know me necessarily and don't know my vibe could see, that's very overwhelming to me right now. And I don't like that feeling. Like, I would like to, like, work on that. Just add it to the list. But for me at this point, that's kind of the way. It's like branching out into different places and presenting our thoughts and our views and the way we see power exchange in different ways so different people can find us, because the world is a little bit different than it was 10 years ago. Like, yes, there's still plenty of people who read blogs who would prefer to read over listen. Podcasting is just growing. I mean, do I think maybe there should be a test before we let somebody get themselves a microphone? Because some people, I'm not impressed with what they're doing with their access to the internet and a microphone. Whole fucking manosphere. But, so that's booming and huge. YouTube, I've sort of... settled is not the word. I've gotten comfortable with the fact that we will never go viral. That YouTube's algorithm will never let us go viral. And I am not currently interested in worrying about the thumbnail so much or making sure the title's like super catchy or grabbing somebody's attention in the first like 2 seconds in order, like, I just want to be who I am and let the people who get it hopefully find us. So I actually don't think much about YouTube growth at all. I think about how can we make it better, a better experience for the folks who are here. How can it look better? Because that probably drives me the craziest of anything. But I don't think about how we're going to grow. I think about how do I learn how to do it in short ways to give people new ways of getting the same information in ways that they are consuming information that 10 years ago, that's not how they were consuming information. But it would require for me to be bad at something publicly before I get good at it. I'm not saying I'm great at it, but 10 years on, I do things better than I used to. And I just right now I'm at a place in life where I don't have the drive or the energy for that. It feels overwhelming, and I don't want to do anything that will make me not want to do this that we're doing right now.
Yeah, I get it. I do.
So that was a very long-winded response because of course it is. In terms of us, I think we are in a better place than we certainly were this time last year.
Yes.
I mean, not just like financially. I mean, in our power exchanges.
Oh yeah.
Specifically what I'm referring to. I think that we are being more mindful about our power exchange. I can kind of see a little bit just a pinpoint light at the end of the tunnel that is the end of the tunnel of one day we will have the freedom to make sure our fur babies are taken care of, but we can come and go, and maybe we can walk around our house naked, and maybe we could do kinky shit in our living room, I can kind of see that day sort of on the horizon. It's funny in general in life, but certainly as a parent, you think how these things are going to go as they get older and you raise children, and then they go completely differently, and you're like, oh, okay, I got to adjust expectations. So, that I get excited about that, Yeah. And I think, okay, what can we get up to when we feel like we have more freedom to get up to it? And I even think sooner than that, I think, okay, as we have the financial resources to leave our fucking house to go do kinky shit, okay, can we, when can we get back to that? But again, for me personally, I don't think, just like you worry about, we talked about this last week before, you worry sometimes everything's gonna, the good that we've got right now and the progress we've made, it's gonna just go away at some point, and you're kind of on edge.
Right. Yeah, we were talking, I was saying, I'm last year is still a little too fresh, and there are times I'm just wait for the bottom to drop out. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a little bit of that myself in terms of trying to plan for the future, because I spent 3 or 4 years telling you and planning next year's going to be better. In 6 months it's going to be better. And I don't have the trust yet that I can do that. And I think that's a little bit of it. I feel like I'm being a downer, and I am sorry. I also feel like I'm going to get yet another thing that's like, you need therapy. I did get that.
Yeah.
I want to believe, because I'm not a total bitch, that came from a good place. I do think the delivery could have been better. It's like, yeah, I know. I keep saying that every episode. I'm like, oh, I could use some therapy. There's a good chance we might not have health insurance next year because we live in America, and because the subsidies that we depended on to afford insurance
are going away.
So I'm just going to be like, can I just afford to go get my hormone replacement therapy appointments and medications? That's all I care about right now. Oh, yeah, maybe my blood pressure medicine.
Yeah.
It's like there's... yeah. So...
Anyhow.
I know. I brought myself down. Oh, my God. My dream for the future is that we will keep doing this even when it's just 6 of y'all left. And we're like, yeah, but we're hanging out and having a good time. And that, we will keep working on our power exchange in meaningful ways.
Right.
And I don't know. I think that's it. I don't want to try and predict what the future will look like, because I got it wrong for so fucking long. So now I'm just like, I just want to keep working on what we're working on and find out what the future holds, and find out what that is, and figure out who we are as we go along, and it's a little bit of kind of living in the moment. I wish it came from that like Zen meditative place of this is a really good thing to do for your mental health is to live in the moment. And it's actually, no, it's all fear-based. But if the outcome is the same, that counts, right? So yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to you, my loving daddy Dom, for every step along the way going, yeah, I support you. Like, let's see what we can do. I'm grateful that, you know, I still feel like I have something to say. I'm so fucking grateful for everybody who listens, watches, you know, shares with the kinky people, you know, they're like, oh no, maybe this can help you, or they're talking about this thing you're talking about, you know. I'm grateful for the messages we get and the comments we get where somebody's like, oh my God, it's like you just like are in my relationship. This is exactly what we're going through. Because, you know, the reason I started blogging back in 2011, started blogging my fucking sex life. Let's put it that way. 2010? I don't even remember anymore, okay? That's how fucking long ago it's been. But the reason I started blogging my, like, sexual awakening and my kink awakening and then, you know, my kinky relationship and is because I was realizing very quickly I was not the only one going through these things, thinking these things, feeling these things, questioning these things. And even if, you know, not everybody can relate to everything, somebody will. And somebody else out there will go, oh my God, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one. You know, other people deal with this too. And I have to figure out my way of dealing with it, but how'd they deal with it? Maybe I can, like, get a hint there. Maybe I can, whatever. And, you know, when I get those messages or I get those comments and people are like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, it does not matter how many mean comments on the internet I've gotten that week. I'm like, oh my God, this is worth it. This is why we do it. Yeah. This is why we do it. But also I'm my own biggest critic. So I usually walk away from episodes going, oh my God, why did you say that like that? What the fuck? And I am always deeply uncomfortable after I've been really vulnerable on an episode because I'm like, that was too much. You did too much that time. That you just cracked your whole chest open. Nope, don't do that. But then I keep doing it. So
True.
I guess at this point it's in my blood and soul and everything. It's just this is what we do. I've now brought myself down. I'm so sorry. This is a celebration. But I will stop. Before we go into the bonus section, I'll just remind everybody we have our podcast anniversary giveaway. 4 prizes up for grabs. They're like ranked. The link is in the places. There's multiple ways to enter, and it's open until 11:59 p.m. Eastern on the last day of August. I think that's the 31st, but y'all know how I am with dates. I never know them. Whatever the last day of August is. That's what it's open till. Yeah. So we could do a bonus section now, and you can like lighten me up because you're very good at that.
So are we good?
I don't know. Probably not. Keep it kinky, y'all. And we'll see you next year, and maybe for the next 10 years. Next week, and for the next 10. Words! They've been a problem all night.
I see that.
God.
I see
next
that.
week, and then hopefully for the next 10 years. That's what happens when my thoughts are faster than my mouth, or my mouth is faster than my thoughts. I don't ever know which one. Okay, all that. Can we talk to the crickets?
Yeah.
Okay, please do some talking. I am just not the life of the party right now. Not because I'm sad. I'm not. I just was thinking about deep things. And
Well, we just we wrapped up the season 2 of Gilded Age.
Season 3.
3. That's right. 3.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
And the last episode had us debating about misogyny and societal expectations of men and women. And I am a Bertha stan. I fucking love her. I do. She's ballsy, man.
I just love, and I cannot remember his real name, but I love how George has become Railroad Daddy.
Online, yeah, the internet
Yeah.
is referring
Dubbed him
to the actor.
Railroad Daddy.
Yeah, Railroad Daddy. And you know, we've said it before. We'll say it again. We'll keep saying it. Daddy is a vibe. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I saw that, I'm currently on Instagram on the Gilded Age side of the algorithm. So I got all this Gilded Age, and I'm like, I'm watching people's reviews. I'm watching the analysis of the costume, the this, the that, the whatever. And also, is it Morgan Spector? Is that the name of the actor who plays George Russell on the Gilded Age? If you have access to watch the Gilded Age, highly recommend. But I've seen him like outside of the character, thanks to like Instagram algorithm, and I'm like, yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Yeah, and you know it's funny because now that I've seen some of his little reels and stuff off set, so to speak, totally different demeanor.
Oh yeah, he looks fun. He looks super fun.
Yeah. I mean his character is very intense.
I have to say, I probably thought this when we watched Downton Abbey. It's just been so long now, I don't remember. But Gilded Age is one of the few shows I think that I've gotten into over the years where each season, in my mind, is better than the one before. Like, when we watched Bridgerton, I enjoyed Bridgerton, but there were some moments I was like, no, I liked the last one better. I liked the last, like, this is okay. Quite frankly, out of the whole Bridgerton universe, it's Queen Charlotte I fucking love. That little side series has actually been my favorite. But with Gilded Age, like, and the reason I brought up Downton Abbey as a comparison, if you're not aware, the creator of Downton Abbey is the creator of the Gilded Age. And so there are people make parallel comparisons to those two, between those two shows because of that. But somebody said online, Gladys, who her mama Bertha married her off to a duke because she was going to make sure that Gladys was had the best possible societal advantage she could. Somebody made the comparison that Gladys's marriage to the duke is essentially, I cannot remember the character's name, but the American mom in Downton Abbey, the wife.
I think,
that's this. Gladys is her backstory. Gladys's story is her backstory. And if you have not watched or cared about any of these shows, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" Gilded Age is amazing, and I fell down the Instagram rabbit hole with it. Is all I'm saying. So yes, it was very good.
It is.
It's very good. Lola had to go to the eye doctor this week. It was a 6-month checkup. She did not want to be there.
No.
They get real close to her eye, and I'm squidgy about stuff near my eye, so I get it. But they also agree with us that calories don't count when you're at the doctor. And so they're taking regular size treats and breaking them up into 10 pieces, but they're feeding her treats the whole time. And she still tried to sit in JB's lap. So in their exam room, there's lots of open space because the vet and the tech or whatever are on the floor trying to get down to her level to check her eyes. But there's a couch. It's lower and more comfy than what we have at our vet's office. Yeah. And Lola jumps up there. Is there only 2 square inches of space for her? Yes. She still jumps up. And this whole visit to just check on her eye, because she's got one hazy eye, her face was buried in JB's chest. The doctor's like, "Do you mind if I do some of this exam while she's right here with you? Because I'm going to be real close to you, too." Yeah.
I had no problem. She was actually sitting still while she was in my lap, and she still wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, no. She didn't mind that hamburger patty she got as a treat.
No, she didn't.
Afterwards.
She got that prime treat afterwards.
Yeah, we don't do drive-through hamburgers or anything like that very often, and it's just the patty, not the bun either. She takes it from me real sweet. Like, we'll be driving, like,
Yeah.
JB's driving down the road and I'm feeding her a treat after I cool it off for her. Don't want her to burn her mouth. And when it's me doing it, she's real gentle, takes it out of my hand real sweet. Most of the time, every once in a while, she'll accidentally nip me. With JB, she's like, Daddy's giving me food, and the aggression. She's trying to take your whole hand.
And it's not, no, you know, it's not aggression.
No, I mean, yeah, that's too strong of a word.
It's excitement.
Oh, yeah, but she forgets herself.
Yes.
She's all teeth.
Yeah, sometimes I need to.
Sometimes you have to use your, like, big D voice on her to get her to back the fuck up. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm backing up too. I know what that voice means. We'll just, you and me, girl, we'll back up together. He means it this time. So yeah, that was an ordeal for her.
Yeah.
We came home covered in fur because she.
Oh, stress shedding.
It was just coming off in clumps.
Yeah.
She's a very short-haired dog. I mean, she's a pity if you've never like seen a picture of her. She does not have a lot of hair, but it just comes off her in clumps at the vet. And then because she was sitting between us on this like couch kind of thing, smaller than a love seat. It's small.
Yeah.
Her ass was pressed into my leg while her face was pressed into JB, and I come out of the vet's office, and my whole leg, my hip, you can't see the pants. It was just
hair
coated in fur. I was like, this is delightful. I love this. But she still loves us, and she didn't give us side eye when we got home. So I think the hamburger patty did its job.
she's laying at my feet now, so you know.
I think it helped that she got Zoomies before we started recording slash streaming.
Yeah.
Because she got it out of her system.
She's been doing pretty good with that. I think it seems we've got her doing good with her meds.
Yeah. I mean, you were the big meanie that cleaned her ears out today.
I know.
She hates that.
She hated that with a passion. But I saw her start to do the
scratch her ears.
I'm like, nope, time to do it.
I'm not going to go back into the rant from a couple weeks ago of the vet we do not like. But the more I have thought about that vet encounter, every time, I'm angrier every time.
I know, right?
Like, I'm just like, here are all the things I should have fucking said.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll never see that lady again.
Exactly. Exactly.
The cats are good. They're still crazy, but, you know, same shit, different day.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, the oldest moves into his new apartment.
Mm-hmm.
We thought that would be earlier in the day, so we're doing a cargo van again through U-Haul. That's what we did to move him out, because it's not even he's not even moving out of a one-bedroom apartment, like a whole apartment. It's like literally a fourth of a kitchen and a bedroom, so you don't need like an actual U-Haul. But we only have a Corolla, so we do need some help. Yeah. So we scheduled it to pick it up on Friday, and the kid is doing UF Gator Band, marching band again this year after not doing it last year, and he thought he would be at band camp while we needed to pack up his van. And I was like, okay, I hate this, but we've got to do what we got to do. Yeah. The kid's out there like doing the school thing. So we had, JB and I talked about, we're like, okay, we'll get the van at this time and we'll load it up at this time and then we'll blah, blah. Some of that's still happening, but thankfully the kid will be here. But it's still a late afternoon Friday because we have a thing we want to go do before we stream, and then we have the stream Friday. We will pack up the van. And then the next morning, early morning, I have to go out and get some groceries for his apartment and a couple other things I've been trying to remember that I need to get for his apartment. And I've got to do that early so that the kid can take the car between probably 10:30 and 11, go to campus because he has a time that he is required to be there for band camp. It's a short thing. It's like probably less than an hour, but he's got to be there at noon. But the apartment won't let him move in until 4 p.m. Yeah. So we pack up the van late-ish on Friday. I have errands early morning, so there's no sleeping in after the stream. I gotta get my ass out of bed, go run these errands. He will take our car. We will ride in the van together to meet him at his apartment complex, which thankfully is next door to his old apartment complex. We don't have to learn new directions. Meet him there at 4. Unload as fast as we can.
Because the van has to be back by 7.
Yes, because if we keep it longer, then we're paying like
premium.
We're paying more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pay more.
No.
Yeah.
And Panda, yes, she is doing well. And the thing we had looking at yesterday was that lesion in the eye, but it's doing very well.
It's stable.
It's
they
stable, which is good. So it looks like I will be giving her eye drops from here to eternity.
I meant to ask you
Mm-hmm.
because I felt my ass clench when they mentioned this. So I wondered how you felt. So they were talking about how, these kinds of eye problems are very common. And, they were happy to know that she takes the eye drops well. I mean, we didn't talk about how we have to bribe her, but she takes her eye drops well. But the vet mentioned that sometimes whether it's a problem like this that escalates or another kind of eye problem, some dogs have to get drops in their eyes 3 to 4 times a day. And I felt my whole ass clench. I went, how? And I don't even do the eye drops. That's not a thing I do. That's not on my list. But I was like, oh my God, poor JB. Thankfully, we're not there yet. Hopefully, we will never be there.
Right.
But I was curious about how, like, if you caught that, if it...
Oh, I caught it, and it was one of those things that in and out.
You were like, I'm not thinking about that shit.
Right.
That does speak to our personalities. I'm over here going, oh my God. And you're like, nope, I didn't want to hear it, so I didn't hear it. It's not my
Pretty
reality.
I mean, twice a day, we're good. She's doing good. She's great.
Just keep it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if doing it twice a day keeps me from having to do it 3 or 4 times a day,
yeah,
I'll keep with the 2 times a day.
And it's a medication, because it's not medication. It's like saline. We can buy from Walgreens. We don't have to keep getting prescriptions.
Correct.
So yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I had a thought I was gonna say, and I've already forgotten.
Already gone, huh?
Happens that way. Later it gets in the evening, the more I forget, the quicker I forget. But yeah, so, she's good though, and she still loves us.
Yeah. Since we came home from the vet yesterday, she has been like Velcro with me.
Oh yeah. She usually is. Oh, that was the thing I was thinking about. Like, look, anybody who was here during the Saki era, we love a small dog.
Yeah.
So I did not know how tied to Saki I was until he was not here, and I had to experience what it's like not being the favorite. It's fine. That being said, we got to the vet's office and then trying to leave the vet's office. The problem children who were snappy and yappy and you had to watch were the small dogs.
Yeah.
Lola was the only large dog in the waiting room, both times, going in and leaving, and she was the calmest.
Yep.
She was and thankfully she didn't react to the dogs who were clearly upset and wanted to bark at everybody. And I'm grateful that she's like that, but
yeah.
The thing that is frustrating, and it's a personal thing, it doesn't actually matter, is the fact that all those people who had their small dog were all side-eyeing Lola at first when we walked in. She was gonna be the problem.
Right.
And I'm like, our girl is quiet. She just wants to leave. She keeps walking to the door can I don't want to be here. But she's mostly staying right by JB and just she's
laying on the floor.
Chill, like she typically is.
Yep.
And yet, folks are holding their small dogs a little closer. And I'm like, she is not the problem here. Y'all are yapping over there. Now, once the waiting room cleared out and we could actually sit down, we got there and we could not sit down.
Yeah.
Partly because we were not going to drag her up into the middle of all those small dogs because it was so busy in the waiting room. Then there were there was one lady who just clearly loved all dogs because she walked around going, can I pet your dog? Can I pet your dog?
Yeah.
Can I pet your dog? But I don't know if you noticed that the people who came in after us still side-eyed Lola until we left and walked around.
I didn't catch any of that.
I was offended on Lola's behalf.
I did not catch any of that.
And I don't have a problem with small dogs.
No. But I think, with Lola's particular breed, there is a stigma that comes with it, unfortunately.
There absolutely is. And now I've had the experience, this is why I'm I'm offended on her behalf. I've had the experience where Our girl was calm and on leash, and it was a small dog that instigated it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, if she had taken that dog's head off in that particular incident, she'd have been the bad guy.
Right.
But I watched this little shit start it all.
Yeah. And that one time, Lola was trying not to.
I know, she was trying so hard that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I walked in there, I was like, don't look at my dog like that.
Yeah. She's a good girl.
She is a good girl. Oh, she's got what we call her satellite ear.
Yeah.
She's laying down as if she's sleeping, but one ear is fully
Straight up.
And the more we say her name, the more that little ear twitches. So.
Oh.
All
right.
I know for me, I think I have finally run down. Not run out of anything. Is the battery is.
Well, it's almost.
We've had almost a 2-hour situation.
It's almost 9 o'clock, and we need to leave some stuff for Friday. You know.
I know. Well, there'll be
Either that,
some.
or we have a lot to do between now and then.
But that's always true. No, I'm pretty sure we will all be. You and I, at least, will have thoughts and feelings after having to load the fucking van back up.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I know. The nice thing, though, we can just, when we unload, it just gets unloaded and dropped, and we can...
I know. I kind of wanted to, like, have the moment. My original intention was, we'll unload, we'll get a stuff dropped up, we'll take them to go get something to eat. And no, now it's like we got to, like, leave the parking lot on 2 wheels and get out like our asses on fire to get the van back inside. Yay! It's fine. Okay. I guess we can be done. I can't hardly keep my eyes open anymore, so it's probably time to be done.
Yeah. I'm ready to put my feet up for a little bit now until, you know.
Oh, yeah. I got like 20 minutes left of a really good book I'm reading. So, thank y'all for being here to the bitter end. Thank y'all for being here at any part in the last 10 years. We fucking love y'all.
we appreciate each and every one of you, from the ones who've been with us since the beginning to the newest folks. We're grateful for you, each and every one of you.
And we will keep showing up as long as some of y'all do.
Yep.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Ice cream.
You scream.